Alright, what's up everybody and welcome back to Summoner's War playthrough. We are now on day 2, as you can see. See, I got some energy here from last time we played. Our mana catcher's full. Still got all our challenges. And we get this lovely beauty right here. And you'll see why she's so special once we get down there. Now, when it comes to the second stage, don't be discouraged starting out. It can be difficult, especially when you get to the golems. You'll fight I think all water and then all fire. All fire is not so bad because you have water, but it can be difficult starting out at first because they have really high defense, so they don't do much damage. They can, but just for starting out, they don't really do that much damage. It's just more of the intimidation factor of when they hit you and they do more damage than you do to them, and it's like, oh. But yay, we leveled up, even though we didn't need it. This is why you don't want to spend your energy, because as you can see, we didn't need to level up. We had plenty of energy. Fatal set. Tap and hold the monster to view its information. Which, we already looked through its information. Durand is now level 4 with us. So, stages are pretty easy. These are all Nat 3 monsters, so as you can tell, they do significant amount more damage than the last 2 monsters I had that were Nat 2s. Alright. So, yeah, farming can be a little annoying, especially when it comes to trying to get a very specific rune that you want. Here we go. Let's see how we handle these guys. Yeah, runing can be a little difficult depending on what kind of runes you want, because 1, 3, and 5 drop default runes, and then 2, 4, and 6 drop random runes. So if you're trying to farm like a 5-star rune and you want something very specific, like in the 2 spot you want speed, it could be very difficult to get a 5-star speed rune, or it can be very easy. It just depends on RNG, random number generator. And look at that, they're just tearing her apart, and we're not doing much damage at all. Luckily, this guy's a healer too, and a reviver. And as you saw, the monster that we're going to be getting at the end of this is a natural 4-star. Natural 4-star water monster. Kumar. I think this is the 6th stage, so we're almost ready to fight the boss. The boss is really easy because it's just a bunch of fires like we've already fought and one giant fire. I'm gonna have to get some more water soon. As you can see, the boss of the stage is significantly bigger than most. Not really that much bigger, it's more of like the main boss stages, then they get significantly bigger. More unknown scrolls, woohoo! Yep, see, boss stage. Young Faye. Hoping for some freezes. Freezes or some stuns, because he hits hard. There we go. His first skill can stun. He's basically our nuker. These fatal runes that we've been getting, we're going to put on her, because since she heals based off attack power, we want to increase her attack, and that's what fatal runes do. When you get a 4-rune fatal set, it increases your attack percentage. Nice. We're all done with that. The Kabir Ruins. Now, for low levels starting out, it's really imperative that you save your crystals. That way, when you get a high level, you try to spend energy or something, then you're getting more for your money. There we go. We got the Water Magic Knight. I'll show you why she's so special. Attacks the enemy target 2 times and attacks all enemies with an even more powerful attack on the 3rd attack. So she'll hit one enemy twice, and then on the 3rd time that she hits that same enemy, that attack spreads out and hits everybody stronger. So it kind of like it's a nice AoE. This shoots 4 magic bullets that seeks enemies with a low HP ratio. The bullets have a 50% chance to decrease the target's defense for 2 turns each. So if you've got 4 enemies, she'll hit all 4 enemies. I know it says seeks the enemy with the low HP ratio. That's like if you only have 2 or 3 or 1 enemies, you know. If you've got 3 enemies, it'll hit all enemies once and hit the 3rd, or it'll hit a 4th time, but it'll seek out one of those 3 with the lowest HP. If you've only got 2, it'll hit each of them twice. If you've only got 1, it'll only hit that 1. But I don't know why it says seeks the enemy with the lowest HP ratio, because that only counts really if you've got 3 monsters, because other than that it doesn't really matter. 50% chance for decrease in the defense is like really nice, because depending on RNG, their accuracy and stuff like that, she could defense break a lot. Now this ability right here is like a self-heal. Steals the magic power from all enemies recovering HP according to the damage dealt. Also increases 30% of the attack bar for every enemy killed. So if you're in a dungeon and you've got a bunch of enemies and you happen to kill like 8 or 9 of them, she's going to instantly get another turn. She'll heal herself based off the damage she dealt. So you would want to have her high attack, so that skill heals a lot, and you would want a bunch of enemies. The more enemies and the higher damage is, the more she'll heal. It's actually really nice. So we're going to fill her up with some Fatal. Put some Fatal on her. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and farm another rune for her, and farm 2 more Fatal for her, and probably I'll go to the next stage and get a rune from there for her. So, real quick, we'll grab a 6-stage rune. Put in her now. See, she's a natural 4-star. There's that 3rd skill. 1st skill. Second skill. I would actually like to have multiple of her at once, just to rune them up differently, see how I'd like them, maybe keep them runed differently. I might build Silver Star monsters to show you guys what they would be like, but for most part they're just food. Might just build them for fun though. But before we build any of those monsters for fun, we're definitely going to have to get a storage to keep them, because we can't have all of our slots taken up by monsters that we use for food. HP percentage is nice. Considering we're on the very first stage, 3-star rune is the max we can get, so it's actually really helpful. Then we need to go to the third stage, farm a couple more for her. Now, I know I talked a lot in the last video and I'm not talking much now. It's because you guys have, I've already unloaded a ton of information into you guys, so I figured I'd just sit back a little bit. There's not really much new that we should be doing today, so not much information I can really give you until we go on to a new area or something. So we just sit back and farm. So this reward, they'll give us a 3-star energy set. They'll give us all 6 3-star. And they call it a magic set because these are already got some substats to them. So all we gotta do is beat the Kabir Ruins. Add some resistance, some damage. As you can see, we put in 4 monsters now. So 2 healers, reviver, damage dealer. Go ahead and do another damage dealer. And the energy set we're going to get, we're probably going to put on him. The Winged Vagabond. Just to put some runes on him for now. Now, I've already been through all this stuff before, but spoiler alert, one of the stages gives you a full crit rate set. The runes that we're farming now are blade runes. We'll get a full set of blade runes, I think 3-star, that we're going to put on him. So I'm not going to be using any of these runes that we get to put on him just yet. So the runes that we're getting right now, we're going to put on our we're going to put a set on the bird, and we're going to put a set on the Fire Hellhound, just for starters. I'm just going to use them as placeholder runes till we can get better ones later. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of unknown scrolls, huh? Now, when I do these recordings, I will try to keep it under an hour because I know most people probably have better things to do. I don't. So, I'll be recording long videos like this, but I won't be. I probably won't let them go higher than an hour. Because most people probably don't even have an hour to watch a video, so most videos you see may only be like a half hour, 10-15 minutes. My videos will probably be an hour long each time, so eventually you'll be able to look at all the videos I have and be like, well, if each one's an hour, then this guy obviously has no life. Which is probably true. Increases attack by 35%. Who do we want to put? Okay, yeah. We want to put some on him. All that experience. You want us to build a shop and power up runes to +3, which we're not gonna waste the mana just yet. You know, 1-star runes, 2-star runes. You don't really want to waste the mana. Maybe if you had like a 3-star rune, I would say, sure, go ahead and power it up to like +6. 4 stars, I'd say power up to like +9. 5 stars, you know, you could go up +12, +15, don't matter. Definitely power up 6 stars to +15, max them out. Now that we got some more runes on, should be able to take out this stage now. Cool thing is if you die, you get experience based off of how many monsters you killed. So you'll still be gaining experience even if you lose. Yeah, we'll do some summoning. We got 6 scrolls. Another Silver Star monster. Fire Warbear. Fire Yeti. I actually really like this guy. He's fusion material, but I like him. He can be useful. So, nothing too overly useful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start locking these monsters. So that we don't get rid of them. Any light and dark monsters that you get, you want to keep, because out of those unknown scrolls and mystic scrolls and crystal summons, you don't get light and dark monsters. You have to get a light and dark scroll for those. Thrashes the enemy, inflicting damage proportionate to your max HP. The attack has a 50% chance to reduce the attack bar by 25%. Inflicts damage proportionate to your max HP to all enemies, decreasing their attack power by 2 turns. Provokes all enemies with a 70% chance and counterattacks every time you receive damage for 3 turns. So you'd want him with really high HP. Maybe some defense too, in case somebody attacks him based on HP, based on his HP. Attacks an enemy 2 times with a fast punches. Each punch has a 50% chance to decrease the enemy's attack speed for 1 turn. Attacks an attacks the enemy and decreases the target's attack speed for 2 turns. This attack deals more damage according to your max HP. So he is also an HP monster. When you awaken him, he creates a shield that's 50% of your max HP for 3 turns and recovers 15% HP every turn for 3 turns. So you'd want him really high HP too. I believe we discussed this guy already. Swings a giant sword to deal damage and decreases the target's defense for 2 turns with a 40% chance this attack will deal more damage according to max HP. Yeah. When you awaken him, he attacks the enemy with lightning fast slash, making the target's attack bar drop to 0, and inflicts irresistible taunt for 1 turn. This attack will deal more damage according to the max HP. So this is his nuker skill. Plus drops the attack bar to 0. So let's say somebody's about to move right after him and you don't want them to get a turn. You hit them with this skill, bam, they lose their attack bar and you can get a couple more hits in before they get to go. His awakened skill increases the attack power and crit rate of all allies for 3 turns. So what we need to do is we need to unlock the Kyrios dungeon so we can start awakening some of these guys. You awaken the Magic Knight, increase the attack power of ally monsters, all attack ally monsters, by 25%. Puts the enemy to sleep for 2 turns. Effect is removed if the enemy is attacked. So you can put him to sleep for 2 turns, but if you hit him, then wakey wakey, which means your Magic Knight, since she does AoEs, that would wake up the monster you put to sleep, so be kind of useless, unless you just wanted that sleep for that 1 turn. Monster moves right after her, you put him to sleep, it's like dropping their attack bar. Increase the HP of all ally monsters in a dungeon by 17%. Attacks the enemy with at a breakneck speed. May stun the enemy with a 24% chance. Fills in an ally's attack bar and strengthens their attack power for 1 turn. So Resurge is a really nice ability because it can let a monster go 2 times in a row. You always want the monster that you're resurging to go right before, so that you don't have to waste it, because if their attack bar is almost already full and they're going to go right after anyways, then there's no point. But it does also increase the attack power, so it makes their attack stronger for that attack that you're resurging. Revives a dead ally and recovers the HP of all allies by 20% each. If there is no allies to be revived, by this skill, the cooldown decreases by 2. So you can use it every 7 turns, but if there's nobody to be revived, then it's only 5 turns, which is nice, because later we can reduce it to either 5 or 3, depending on if there's somebody that needs revived or not. So we'll talk more about all their skills. Increases damage, increase harmful effect rate, so that'll go to 60%, and you can reduce the cooldown. So I'm just going to show you all these. We've already read through most of them, so I'll just show you what happened. Now I can't show you what they like. For example, I can show you what skill they get when they get awakened, but I can't show you. I can't show you the upgraded versions until we actually do awaken them. Increase the attack speed of all ally monsters by 15%. Rapidly fires 2 shots and may fire an additional shot by chance. The chance of firing an additional shot is equivalent to your crit rate. So obviously you'd want blade runes on this guy, really high crit rate, which is why that blade set that I told you about, I'd be given to him. Attacks an enemy, stunning it for 1 turn with 30% chance. If the target is stunned by your attack, you instantly gain another turn. So you definitely want him to get stunned, or the enemy to get stunned, which you can increase up to 50% every 3 turns. Aims at the target to deal substantial damage. If the enemy is frozen, stunned, or asleep, the damage of this attack will be increased by 50%. So your fairy, she can freeze. Your bird can stun. He can stun. So like if he gets that stun off with his 2nd skill, gets to go again, then you hit him with the 3rd skill, it'll do a lot more damage. So yeah. We are stuck on that stage, and that's all wind. They can ignore defense and stuff like that, so you need a monster with probably high HP. Some HP monsters. Lucky for us, we have these 3 that are fire monsters. But the downside is they have no runes. Go ahead and put these on him. Okay, so we need 1 of each energy for him, and then we need 2 and 5 for him, and then we'll probably put a Fatal Blade set on him. So we'll go here. Yeah. I'll take you out. Did I finish your runes? No. I'll go ahead and take you out. And I want to level up these guys just a little bit before we decide to battle with them. Now, I was thinking about probably doing most of my farming and stuff like that off recording, so that I could come back and be like, hey, look what I got. But I figured that I wouldn't do that because I'd rather just show you guys the whole walkthrough. Like, you guys can just sit there and actually watch my character grow if you wanted to, or if you don't really care about that, you know, you could always skip to another video or whatever. It's up to you. But this way you can actually watch everything I do, watch it grow, very specifically. Yep, guys, it can be boring. Pretty boring. I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna take all the farming out. Probably will. Because I don't want you guys to just sit here and watch me farm. Because that shit can get boring as hell. But I think as far as the playing off recording, I'll just collect the scrolls and crystals and stuff like that and energy. I'll probably still use my energy, but as far as crystals and the summons go, I won't do that until I'm back on recording, so you guys can see what I'm summoning. And when we get back, I'll show you all the runes that I got, the runes that I have on my monsters, stuff like that. But I think that'll be it for today's recording. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.